Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, Bahashem YAHWASHI, Bahashem Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, the elder bishops of Great Millstone, who rule well. And I want to give peace and salutations to the elect. All right, and I want to jump into a quick lesson. I got this article pulled up here from Business Insider going into what's being forecasted as a recession in 2024. All right, so we're just going to jump right into it. This is again from Business Insider. This article was published yesterday, November 14th, 2023. It says recession will hit the U.S. in 2024, so get ready for massive interest rate cuts. Okay, and when these interest rates get cut, it leads to it leads to downtrending in the market, and leads to inflation and different other economic woes. All right, so this is what we can expect in 2024. And real quick, I looked up. I just wanted to add to the lesson. I went and looked up the definition of recession, and as you can see here from Google, it says a recession, a period of temporary economic decline during which trade and industrial activity are reduced. And that's a key part of what I'm gonna get into during this lesson. Okay, economic decline during which trade and industrial activity are reduced. Because what happens when you have a decline in trade, you especially when it comes to how goods are being transported and going from one place to another, which ultimately allows a society, a country, to function. You know what I mean? Trade is everything, right? If you can't get the items like food, water, clothes, materials into your stores for people to be able to function and live and survive, then you have a situation to where people or all hell can break loose, right? When the supply chains get disrupted, things can get out of hand, and things can get out of hand quickly. So a lot of times we see these articles, and we see these reports about recessions, and people take them for granted because they think always what will always happen is some way, somehow, the government or the powers that be will come up with a solution or a plan. But we know, according to Bible prophecy, at some point there is going to be no saving this place. From itself, from its economic downturn, from the collapsing of the economy, the collapsing of the currency. So this is what we got to look forward to. It says here, a period of temporary economic decline during which trade and industrial activity are reduced, generally identified by a fall in GDP, okay, gross domestic product, in 2 successive quarters, right, which is a span of 6 months in total, right? This is how it's defined, but we've been seeing America decline for some time now, a lot longer than 2 consecutive quarters or 6 months. All right, so we are anticipating a recession. We're anticipating the economic downturn that's going to lead to all hell breaking loose. Okay. All right, so it says again, recession will hit the U.S. in 2024, so get ready for massive interest rate cuts, UBS says. Now it says here, the Federal Reserve will slash interest rates by an eye-popping 275 basis points next year, according to UBS. That's nearly 4 times as steep a cut as the market is expecting. Right? It says here the U.S. economy will slip into recession next year, and that'll lead to the Federal Reserve bringing in steep interest rate cuts, according to one top European bank. The UBS said to Tuesday that it's expecting the Fed to respond to falling inflation and an economic slump by slashing rates by an eye-popping 275 basis points, nearly 4 times the 75 basis points reduction the market is currently expecting. Right? So, for it to, for this downturn to happen with the market 4 times more than what they're expecting, this could lead to the collapse, the absolute collapse of this place, right? Which we know is inevitable, right? It says here, one of the key features of UBS's forecast is the very pronounced Fed easing cycle seen unfolding from March 2024 onwards. So they're expecting this to happen very, very soon. You're looking at March 24. You're looking at 5 months, not even 5 months, 4 months. So you got December, January, February, 3.5 months, man. 3.5, 4 months. All right. It says one of the key features of UBS's forecast is the very pronounced Fed easing cycle seen unfolding from March 2024 onwards. A team led by economists Aaron Kaptein and strategist Banu Baweja said in a research note published Tuesday, adding that they expected rates to plunge to just 1.25% in the first half of 2025. All right, so if you read the article, you can see how things can get really bad, man, and how it's going to get bad. Now, real quick, it says this is the part I was reading as well. It says since March 2022, the Fed has lifted borrowing costs from near zero to around 5.5% in the bid to clamp down on soaring prices. Inflation. This is the part. Inflation hit a 4-decade high of 9.1% in June last year, right? And we think it's more than 9.1%. That's what they're just reporting. Because Esau likes to play with numbers, and he likes to be deceptive and doesn't give full truths. It gives half truths. But even 9.1% as an inflation percentage is no joke, because people are seeing it in their pockets. People are seeing the groceries go up. People are seeing the gas prices go up. The increase in services. You go anywhere. You go to get your car serviced, right? You see the increase in the prices everywhere, man. Any goods or services that you have to pay for, you'll see the inflation, the effects of inflation. Okay, it says inflation hit a 4-decade high of 9.1% in June last year, but has since started to cool, although it's running way clear of the central bank's 2% target. All right, so this is something that we really can expect, because the scriptures tell us that this place is going to end up collapsing, right? And this is the thing. That's why the scriptures tell us to measure the times diligently in itself, so that we can understand that we at the end. We know that it's close. All right. Let me grab my first scripture that I have here. Pull up my notes. All right. It says, let's go to Isaiah, the book of Isaiah, chapter 24, and verse 7. It says, the new wine mourneth, the vine languisheth, and all the merry-hearted do sigh. Okay. In this chapter, Isaiah 24, when you read at the top, it says judgment on the earth. Okay, and this is what we look forward to. This is actually what we're seeing, the judgment play out on the earth. All right, and a lot of that judgment has to do with a big part of that. These prophecies have to do with Babylon the Great falling, right, which is America. It says the new wine mourneth and the vine languisheth. All the merry hearted do sign, and people are merry hearted at this time, at this moment. Why? Because they got every reason to think that, this place will continue. They have every reason to think that they have the ability to lead a good life, a successful life. They're looking for, future gains and just again, America sells people a dream of, a life of prosperity, a life of health and growth and prosperity, right? So that's why people are merry hearted, for the most part, right? It says the mirth of tabrets ceaseth, all right? The noise of them that rejoiceth endeth, the joy of the harp ceaseth. And this is what we have to look forward to, okay? When recession hits, when inflation hits, we're looking at people's whole tune changing. All right. The mirth of tabrets will cease. The noise of them that rejoice endeth. So those merry hearted that I just mentioned, all right, that merry heartedness, that rejoicing, it will end. Okay. Verse 9, it says, they shall not drink wine with the song. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. All right. So the things that, people are enjoying in these times, these things are going to be bitter to them. Okay. Because there's not going to be any joy in them. It's going to be, at some point, it's going to be all about survival. Right. And you're not going to be able to look to anything to find any joy. That's going to be out of the question. All right. The city of confusion is broken down. What's the city of confusion? Babylon the Great, America. All right. The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up that no man may come in. There's a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. Okay. And this will darken the joy that people have in their hearts at the moment. Okay? When things get completely out of hand, when a recession turns into inflation, when inflation turns into hyperinflation, and things are just impossible for people. All right? Survival is impossible. There's a crying for wine in the street, all joy is darkened, the mirth of the land is gone. All right? This is what we have to look forward to, the mirth of the land being gone. Nobody is going to have anything to be smiling or be happy about. That is going to be gone. Okay? It says, in the city is left desolation, and the gate is smitten with destruction. Yeah, this city is going to be left desolate. All hell is going to break loose. There's going to be dead bodies. There's going to be people running down on each other for lack of bread. All right? Purge-like activity is what we're going to see. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, and verse 7. It says, Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. All right. So, Babylon is suddenly fallen in this prophecy, and we're seeing the beginning of it. It's already started, right? We're seeing the collapse and the end of this dollar, of the world's reserve currency. Okay, the currency that people have had so much faith in and has been, invested in for generations now. Okay, this is why Babylon is falling, because all of that is coming to an end. Right, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. Verse 9, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Okay, there is no healing for Babylon. There's no consolation. There is no future for this place. All right, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. And this is what we're looking forward to, right? We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. There is no healing. There is no, once this place falls and it collapses, there's no putting it back together. Why? Because that's prophecy. That's the judgment for America, Babylon the Great, from YAHAWASHI. Okay? And ultimately, that judgment coming down is going to be these thermonuclear missiles that will be let off and shot at this place. Deservingly so. Because the wickedness that goes on here, there's no other option. There's no other, it is righteous for the Lord to have the judgment of Babylon the Great play out the way it's going to play out. That's righteous. There's the book of Matthew. I just got 2 more scriptures. It's not going to be long at all. This is Matthew chapter 24. I'm going to start at verse 6. Right? And ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, which we're seeing all of these things happen, right in front of our eyes. And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. And this recession that's being forecasted, this will lead to a famine. Okay, it will lead to a lack of bread. Okay, the dollar collapsing, jobs being cut, supply chain being affected, inflation, impossible prices for food. All right, it's going to end up, America, Babylon the Great is going to end up in the place where there aren't going to be any food. The storehouses shall be empty, as the scriptures say. Let me just grab that real quick. I always go to this scripture because it's very, very important to it's a Bible prophecy. And I can't type right now because it's late and I'm tired. But I had to get this lesson in, man. All right, 2 Ezra 6:22, it says, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. Right? And this is, as bad as it may sound, this is what we are looking forward to, man. This is what we want to happen tomorrow. You know what I mean? We want this place to fall so bad we can barely control ourselves, because enough is enough, man. Brothers are tired. The saints are worn out, and we want recession to hit. We want inflation to hit. We want the bad to come so that the good can follow. All right? The Lord has given us the understanding of these things, of prophecy, and what needs to happen in order for them to take place, and why it's important to fear the Lord and trust in the Lord, because we're going to see some very, very troubling times, but we are rehearsing and we are practicing fearing and trusting the Lord, so we'll be stable in that time when these things come about. Okay, we've received that message from on high. All right. All right, to be soldiers for YAHAWASHI. All right, I got one more scripture. Let me just bring it out. 2 Ezra chapter 16. I'm going to close on this in verse 21. It says, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case, right? And that's typically the spirit of America, Babylon the Great. People are able to afford their necessities, right? People are able to survive and do what they got to do, and blah, 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 right? To the point where people will think themselves to be in good case. It says, even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion, because things like this, a recession, will bring sword, famine, and great confusion, because people are not going to know how to get beyond these rough times, how to get through them. It's going to be complete confusion. Confusion is going to lead to, you know, some really crazy decision making, and you know, judgment is going to play out. All right. It says here, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. So we're looking forward to a people perishing of famine and not being able to you know, find food for themselves and their families and their children. You know, we at the end of this thing, man. Thus saith YAHAWASHI, thus saith the scriptures. So we just got to hang tight and hold on. Last verse, it says, verse 23, it says, and the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. For the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down, right? Literally, people are going to be cast out as dung. You're going to see dead bodies in the street, you know, from all hell breaking loose, people not being able to eat, you know, judgment being played out. Because people are gonna be killing each other for lack of bread, for lack of the ability to survive and get what they need to get through each day. It's gonna get that bad out here. So people will be cast out as dung in the streets, and no man will be there to comfort them, especially your emergency services. You're not gonna be able to call the fire department or the police or the ambulance, right? You ain't gonna be able to call them. Ain't gonna be nobody there to comfort you, especially YAHAWASHI, because the Lord ain't dealing with the wicked. The Lord ain't dealing with these other nations, and the Lord ain't dealing with 2/3 of the nation of Israel, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. That's why it says, for the earth shall be wasted and the city shall be capped down. It's gonna be all hell out here. The earth shall be wasted. These cities are gonna be, this season is gonna be, it's gonna be nasty out here. All right. So, you know, those of the believers, it's about believing, fearing, trusting in the Lord, and holding it down to the very end. Okay, that's the message. All right, so I'll leave it there. As always, I hope you're edified. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahashem Yahawashi, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect. Shalom.